In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
All right. This is Bryce D. Nyer coming at you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg for another episode of Escape the Legal Matrix. We're going to talk about something that you all have heard of, I'm sure, many times in your life, called Murphy's Law. Well, I was recording this last evening, yesterday, and guess what? My producer sent me a text and said, "Hey, man, there's nothing recorded." I'm like, "Oh, what?" So when I came back in the studio tonight, I realized, yes, I had the microphone muted. Man. So that goes in line with Murphy's Law. When things can get screwed up, they do. So listen, we're going to talk about this thing, Murphy's Law, especially for you law students and you new lawyers out there that are going out into mortal combat in the escape the legal matrix, i.e. known as the legal profession, but it's, I don't know, is it a profession or is it not? To me, it seems like a gladiator sport, a blood sport. So here's the deal, youngsters. In life, things are going to go wrong. They're going to be chaotic, and they're not going to go as planned. That has happened many times in my life, and it sucks. It sucks. But here's the deal. The good Lord did not promise you an easy life. He did not say it would be without struggle. He did not say it would be without adversity. He did not say it would be without challenges. No. He never said that. And I am living proof that that statement is indeed true. So in my life, even as a youngster, a little kid in junior high, high school, college, Army officer, law school, lawyering, I can tell you, marriage is 2. I'm 0 for 2. 0 for 2. Okay. Murphy's Law came into play many times. I had things planned. I'm like, yeah, it's going to go. Good. Got all planned out, everything packed, blah, 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 plan this, plan that. And guess what? A glitch comes up in the process. And so when that happens, your first instinct is like, oh, man. Now, you probably say a lot worse words. I did, but I'm not going to say them here because this is kind of like a family show. And I've been advised not to say really bad words on my podcast by some of my friends and a few other people. But let me tell you, the thoughts in my head sometimes. And I think about in my life when Murphy's Law came into play, bad words, bad words. But what I've learned is it's a hard thing to accept that things are going to go wrong because we want things to be perfect. We want things to be like instantaneous. We want them to go right. We don't want adversity. We don't want stress. We don't want anxiety. And look, I'm the first one. I wish it didn't exist. I wish anxiety and stress never existed. But it does. And of course, the challenge is how do you react to it? How do you meet it head on? How do you meet it on the battlefield? And it's difficult. I mean, look at our world. It's in total chaos. It's in chaos. Now, we can talk about the many reasons why it's in chaos. We can look at scripture. We can look at non-scripture. But the point is, the world today is just crazy town. It's crazy town. We are so addicted to our phones and our computers and all the technology that we've forgotten how to be humans. And so technology just makes the chaos come to you faster. And it makes Murphy's Law even stronger. Because if crap will go wrong without technology, just imagine what happens when you have it. I'll give you a perfect example. Okay. I have a general knowledge of computers, but we are upgrading all of our hardware and our software. And we have one of the best IT guys in the nation who happens to just live in my city. And I gotta be honest with you, I get frustrated as hell dealing with computers. in software. I do. I don't want to deal with it. I just want to push a button and I want it to work. But every single day or every week, there's some new patch or new thing or this or that and the other. And technology constantly changes. It frustrates the living hell out of me. It really does. And when I'm working on a major project and I can't get the software program to work or the computer, Murphy's Law, it comes up at the wrong time. And so things in your life, law students, young lawyers, and whatever profession you're in, it's going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. Chaos is going to happen. It's not going to go as planned. We look through history. I mean, look at history when things didn't go as planned. I mean, they just didn't. I mean, look at Napoleon at Waterloo. He got kind of slaughtered there. And look at other things in life. I mean, just look at history. I mean, things go right, things go wrong. Look at the sports figures at the Olympics or other stuff, and when they got injured or they didn't win, they had to keep coming back till they got the gold in the Olympics. Murphy's Law is going to come up. It's going to come up all the time, and it does suck. I hate when Murphy's Law comes up. I just wish God would banish it to the annals of hell. But he hasn't done that yet, and it's still out there. So as you navigate through law school, look, it's just academics. You either make the grade to pass or you don't. That's it. Some of you may fail a grade, or fail a course, have to retake it. But as long as you can retake it and graduate, you're good to go. You may fail the bar exam the first time. It sucks. I didn't. I passed the bar exam the first time. Felt blessed. I stayed for it, prepared for it, and had the right attitude walking into it. But there are some people that, that were at the top of my class, they failed. 2 of them. 2. I think we said 96 to the bar. Maybe 98, something like that. But 2 of them failed. And so I can't imagine how they felt. But I know how I would have felt if I had not passed bar exam first. I would have cried, man. I'd have had like 15 beers and thrown myself out the first story window. I don't know. But the point is that you look all around you and everybody in the world around you, and you may not know it, is going through something adverse and things come up. So the issue is, how are you going to deal with it? Well, to me, when I went through the program Wake Up Warrior, which was founded by Garrett J. White, who's CEO, and met a bunch of great people through that organization, here's the deal. You got to have these foundations in effective body, being, balance, and business. He's right. It's true. It's in his book. It's absolutely correct. And even with my producer, Bryce Prescott, he's fantastic in the podcasting business. Plus, he's a professional comedian. He's also told me, look, man, some days, things just aren't going to go right. They aren't going to go your way. And he's right too. And things will come up, challenges will come up, and not everything is going to work out. In fact, he and I were having that discussion this morning about business and life and everything that's going on. I won't get into details, but I really respect the hell out of him. I love this guy, man. He's my brother from a different mother, and we talked. We talk from time to time, and life can kick you in the face, and Murphy's Law can come into each one of the domains of body, being, balance, and business. You may get some dreaded disease. In being, maybe you sin egregiously, and it doesn't make you feel good. Doesn't make Jesus feel good either. And maybe in balance, maybe you're going through a divorce. It's not fun. You come home one day and there's this letter that says goodbye. You're like, what? And your spouse is run off with somebody else, or I don't know. Maybe you did. And then in business, maybe you've done everything you think you can do, and it just collapses around you. And so sometimes when Murphy's Law comes into play, Murphy's Law can be converted into a blessing. Maybe it's not where you're supposed to be, and maybe Murphy's Law is to come in and test your mettle. It's to sharpen the sword. And I've thought about that today because I have to head out of here on an emergency. And it's a real emergency, and I've got a 10-hour drive ahead of me. And what I'm facing and what I have to go to do and the things, it's not fun. And Murphy's Law has come into play in life with a human being. And it's just, it's going to, I'm telling you, law students, I'm telling you, young lawyers, Murphy's Law is always there. And Murphy's Law is just waiting for the opportunity and the chance to leap up, leap out, and get in your way. And so the better question is, how are you going to deal with it? What are you going to do? You're going to fall apart? You're going to just lay down a gun and cry? Or you're going to get up, you're going to stand up and go fight? Look, don't get me wrong. There have been times in my life, and even recently, talking with some of my closest friends and colleagues, where I'm just DONE done with the whole damn legal profession. Just done. Fed the hell up with all of it. Fed up with the judges, fed up with the clients, fed up with the attorneys. I'm just done. Just sick of it. And then some blessing comes along the way, and it kind of converts my mindset. But things in my law office, things in this practice of law, this legal matrix in my life, they come up, and it's just like, man, you take one step forward, and you get knocked back 2 steps. And so life is a constant war. Life is a constant battle. Life is a constant challenge. And you cannot understand the pleasure of winning and success until you experience defeat and anguish and anxiety. You can't understand. You have to experience one to understand the other. And that's a gift from God. And look, I don't know why God, put all these challenges in our life. I don't know why, bad things happen to people. I don't know. We can go back, we can talk about scripture all day long, going back to Garden of Eden and the spiritual battle and all that. And I believe that to be true. And I don't know why he allows it to continue. I don't think he's going to allow it to continue much longer. But Murphy's Law, I think, comes into play, and it can be a blessing, and it tests you. It tests your perseverance. It tests your faith. It tests your ability to fight the good fight, to go on despite the obstacles, despite the challenges. I mean, when you look at things like, when you look in life, gosh, I've seen people, coming back from the Middle East wars that lost limbs and were burned, their bodies were just all burned up, and yet they persevered. And I feel ashamed of myself because I sit here and complain about stupid stuff and minor things that Murphy Law has done to me. And then I look at some of these folks that have just, tragedy has fallen upon them. And yet they go on, yet they persist. And they look at Murphy's Law and they say, not today, Satan, not today. Not today. I keep moving forward. I may not have my legs, but I'm going to move forward in the wheelchair or however it is. I may not have my arms, but I'm still going to compete in sports. And I may have had a death in the family or some tragedy, but I'm going to continue on. I'm going to march on. I'm going to move forward. And Murphy's Law will not defeat me today. It's been a blessing because it's made me a stronger person. It's brought me closer to Jesus, brought me closer to God. Those sort of things. And I'm telling you, your mettle is going to get tested, law students and young lawyers. It's going to happen. A lot of the problem in the legal profession today, in this legal matrix, is lawyers are too damn arrogant. Their egos and their pride get in the way. And I will tell you, pride is the first thing to make a man or woman fall. When your pride gets in the way and your ego won't let your head fit through the door and you think you're God's gift to the world, you're going to get smacked down. And Murphy's Law is going to come, and I'm going to tell you why. It's going to beat you down. It's going to beat you down. Things aren't always going to go as you want. They're not just going to click. They're not. They're not. In my life, there were times I thought, yeah, I got it. I got this. I'm on it. And then, man, all hell breaks loose. And it's like somebody slaps you. It's like being hit by Mike Tyson. I've never been hit by Mike Tyson. I damn sure don't want to get hit by Mike Tyson. But he's a powerful man. He was a great boxer. He still is. But, you get hit by him, and I doubt you're getting up. Well, that's the way Murphy's Law can be, depending upon the strength. It's almost like a hurricane, the categories 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Murphy's Law comes in those categories. It might be a small storm in your life, or it could be a frickin' tsunami, or it could be a major category 5 hurricane. But it's going to happen. And you have to be solid in these domains of body, being, balance, and business. And for me, I wasn't always solid in those. It was a hit and miss. Maybe I was solid in one, but not the other. It's very difficult to have all those domains of body, being, balance, and business in total functioning order, like cylinders in an engine, firing with no problem, okay? until Murphy's Law comes along. I mean, think about your car. You're like, yeah, man, it's cruising along. And then your engine gets sick. And something goes wrong with it. You're like, oh, man, sucks. Yeah, it does. Your car doesn't work. Now you're infantry again. You're walking. Everybody's infantry, by the way. I don't care if you're a fighter jet pilot. I don't care if you're a fighter pilot. I don't care if you fly choppers. I don't care if you're a tanker. I don't care. If it breaks down or it gets shot out of the sky, you parachute out, you land, guess what you are? You're infantry. Murphy's Law got you, but now you're infantry. So again, you know, you have to understand that life, God, man, sometimes it does suck. It just sucks bad. Then the issue is, you know, what are you going to do about it? I mean, some nights I lay awake and I think, and it's my fault, I think about all the stupid crap I've done in my life, all the sins I've committed, and I just start to shudder, and I'm like, man, God, I was stupid. I think about all the terrible things that happened. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm just starting to, let this just get into a karma cul-de-sac of insanity, thinking about it. And then I have to start thinking, okay, what did I do right? How did I meet the obstacles? You know, you have to give yourself some grace. You have to give yourself some kudos. You gotta give yourself that, there you go, brother. Pat yourself on the back. You stood up. And all too often, we let Murphy's Law beat us down, and we forget that we do a lot of things that are great, a lot of things that are good, and that we have been strong in these storms of adversity. So you have to ask this better question. Where in your world is Murphy's Law attacking you? What is going on in your domains of body, being, balance, and business, which, when they're on fire, lead to fulfillment? What is it in Murphy's Law that is attacking you right now? And how are you dealing with it? How are you dealing with it? Because at the end of the day, certain people, yes, it's true, they can help you. A firefighter can save you from a fire. A law enforcement officer, they get on the scene in time, they can stop you from being a victim of a crime if they can get there in time. No doubt, okay? No doubt. A lifeguard can pull you from drowning out of a riptide. Okay, there are people that can save you in those type of examples. But most of the time in your life, in these domains of body, of being, of balance, and business, look, folks, Murphy's Law is there all the time waiting to pounce on you. And you have to be cognizant that Murphy's Law is there, and you have to understand that you have to be ready to meet this adversity, this Murphy's Law on the battlefield of life. You have to do it. Okay, that's been another episode of Escape the Legal Matrix with yours truly, Bryce D. Nyer. So, hey, we've been coming live at you from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fort Bragg. That's right. Where everyday men and women don the uniform and do what? They go wage war against who? The enemy, who seeks to do what? Take the very freedoms and rights away from you that we do what? So often take for granted. And trust me, our military, they face Murphy's Law every single day, yet they drive on. They march on and they move forward. They shoot, move, and communicate. Shoot, move, and communicate. All right, this is Bryce Denarian. I am out of here.